How did the fall of Saigon traumatize Vietnamese refugees? Imagine watching your homeland fall apart in a flash, with chaos and fear taking over everything you know. That's what happened when Saigon, the capital of South Vietnam, fell in 1975. The sudden end of the Vietnam War meant the collapse of the South Vietnamese government and the takeover by communist forces from the north. For many Vietnamese people, this was not just a political shift but a life-altering event. It caused deep trauma that still echoes today. When Saigon fell, many felt they lost their homes, their government, and their sense of identity all at once. People who supported the South Vietnamese regime or worked with the United States faced persecution. Many were imprisoned in what were called re-education camps, where conditions were harsh and hopes for freedom dimmed. This sudden change made hundreds of thousands of people flee their country in fear. They left behind everything familiar: homes, possessions, and sometimes family members, creating a pain that stayed with them forever. Most refugees escaped by boat, often called boat people. These journeys across the South China Sea were dangerous and exhausting. Overcrowded vessels, starvation, dehydration, pirates, and the risk of drowning made every mile a test of survival. Those who made it to safety often spent years in refugee camps, living in tough conditions while waiting to resettle in new countries. The physical suffering was matched by mental strain, as many faced the trauma of displacement and loss. The mental health toll was significant. Many Vietnamese refugees developed post-traumatic stress disorder and depression. These conditions came from witnessing violence, losing loved ones, and enduring the stress of exile. Cultural factors made it harder to get help. Mental illness was often seen as a spiritual or physical problem, not a medical one, so many didn't seek psychiatric care. This left many with unresolved pain that affected their lives long after they left Vietnam. The trauma didn't end with the first generation. Their children and grandchildren grew up in new countries, often feeling caught between two worlds. They struggled to keep their Vietnamese culture alive while adapting to American or other societies. This created conflicts within families and made identity a complex issue. Looking at the broader history of the Vietnam War, the fall of Saigon shows how wars end isn't just about military defeat. It's about the human cost: families torn apart, lives forever changed, and communities scarred. The trauma of the fall is a reminder of how war's aftermath can linger for decades, shaping the lives of millions long after the guns fall silent. This story highlights the ongoing need for mental health support for Vietnamese refugees and their descendants. It also reminds us to recognize their stories as part of the larger history of the Vietnam War. Their experiences show how displacement and trauma can leave lasting marks, influencing generations and shaping cultural identities worldwide.